When did you realize it takes a village to raise a child? My daughter Octavia asked me to make sure Daddy came to her 5th birthday party. We'd been divorced for 6 months after I caught him cheating with his coworker, who he immediately moved in with and got engaged to. Still, I called him that night and explained how she'd been crying herself to sleep, asking why Daddy didn't love her anymore. His voice completely changed and he said, "Of course I'll be there, baby girl. I wouldn't miss it for the world." When I told Octavia the next morning, she screamed with pure joy. She spent the next 2 weeks telling everyone Daddy was coming to her princess party. He actually started calling her every few days, which he hadn't done in months. They planned every detail together, from the castle cake to the pink streamers. When a huge box arrived with the most beautiful princess dress inside, Octavia wore it constantly and kept saying, "Daddy picked this just for me." The morning of her party, Octavia was up at 6 wearing her princess dress and sitting by the window watching for her dad's car with such hope in her eyes. By noon, she was getting worried, so I texted him and he replied, "Traffic is brutal, but almost there." When her friends arrived at 2, she kept leaving them to check the window, and my heart broke a little more each time she said, "Daddy will be here soon." She wouldn't blow out her candles without him, and I was dying inside watching 20 kids stare at my daughter falling apart. I opened Instagram to message him and immediately saw his post showing them at a winery 2 hours away. I felt like I'd been punched. Once Octavia realized he wasn't coming, she sobbed so hard, asking, "Why doesn't Daddy love me?" Then she threw up on the dress he'd sent. That night, she kept asking what she did wrong while I held her and planned his death. He didn't even bother texting to explain. I stayed up all night after Octavia cried herself to sleep, and I kept thinking about her little face when she realized he wasn't coming. Around 3 in the morning, I decided I couldn't let her birthday end like this, so I was going to throw her a do-over party no matter what it took. I texted every mom friend I had explaining what happened, and by morning, 8 of them were ready to help, which made me cry because I didn't even have to beg. My friends came over while she was at school, and we transformed my ugly backyard into a magic kingdom, using old sheets for castle walls and Christmas lights for stars. When I brought Octavia outside that Saturday, she grabbed my hand so tight, seeing all these women in sparkly wings waiting for her. My friend curtsied and said, "Princess Octavia, we've been waiting for you," and Octavia giggled for the first time in a week. They painted her nails and braided flowers in her hair while she sat on a throne made from my kitchen chair. We had monthly unbirthday parties after that, like celebrating finding all the socks after laundry day or making it through a rainy week. By December, she was planning the parties with me, and instead of watching the window, she'd help me hang streamers saying, "Just us is perfect, mommy." 11 years later, I was preparing for Octavia's sweet 16 when my phone rang. I saw my ex's name for the first time in years, and my stomach just dropped. When I answered, he started rambling about how his fiancée had left him and taken their 2 kids in the divorce. He kept saying how alone he was now, and I just listened because what was there to say? Then he asked if he could come to Octavia's sweet 16. He actually said, "I know I messed up, but she's still my daughter and I want to make things right." Like 11 years of nothing.